everybody, my name is and today's class is a masterclass in getting rid of sciatica. Sciatica stems from too much tension in the glute muscles, pushing on a muscle called the piriformis. That, in turn, tenses up into the groin. It can affect the IT band, the adductor muscle. It can take the knee out of alignment, and eventually it goes into the foot and can often make the foot and the toes go numb. We're going to work through all the muscle groups possible to get rid of your sciatic pain. Okay. Now you might need a little bit of equipment. So dog's rubber ball or the inner tube of a clingfilm rack. You might want to use a block or two. Some of you might want to use a chair. And eventually I would invest in an 8-inch Pilates ball that you can deflate. This is semi-inflated, as you can see. Nice and soft. Okay. So I'm going to start with the ball, and I'm going to place the ball under the foot. I'm so excited about teaching this to you. So I'm placing the ball under the ball of the big toe, and I'm pushing really, really firmly. I'm going to take that ball all the way down to the heel on that inner seam of the foot. Then take the ball onto the middle edge of the foot, coming all the way up towards the toes and letting the toes wrap around the ball. And then I'm coming down the outside edge of the foot with the ball, pushing really firmly. As you can see, I'm squashing that ball with the weight of the foot. If you're struggling to keep the balance, place the hand on a wall or hold a chair onto a chair. That's all fine. I just want you to concentrate on releasing the fascia of the foot, and that will get rid of any numbness and pins and needles. Okay. So I'd probably work that round the foot 3 or 4 times. Very strenuous push into the ball. There'll be areas of tension. You've just got to breathe through it. Okay. And then exactly the same on the other foot. Down the inner seam, up the centre of the foot, and down the outer seam. You might notice one foot has more tension in it than the other. It's normal. This is a great way of getting rid of plantar fasciitis. So you can do this as many times as you want to. Gradually you'll notice that the tension ebbs away from the undersole of the foot. It becomes quite nice and massage. I'll just do my other foot once more. So feel free to do more repetitions on each foot than what I've just shown you. Okay. The next one we're going to do is an IT band stretch. So the IT band runs along the outside edge of the thigh. It can get really, really tight when you've got sciatica. It pulls on the bursa. Okay, that's why sometimes when we've got sciatica that's really bad, You can't lay on one side when you go to bed. Okay. So, I'm stood on my mat with my feet roughly hip distance apart. Lots and lots of core control and pelvic floor. Weight into the feet. I'm going to take my right leg over the top of the left. My toes are not in alignment. The back leg, my left leg, is straight, but my right knee is bent to accommodate that back leg. Check that the hips are square. Weight into the feet, probably more weight in the back foot than the front one. When you are ready, exhale and drape down towards the mat. Head and arms heavy. Slow deep breaths. And what you'll begin to notice is that a stretch and a warming sensation starts to build up in that back leg. Sometimes it goes right into the sit bone, or you may even feel it working across the sciatic band. Breathe into the stretch. If it gets a little bit intense, you can always ease off the stretch slightly and go back into it. If your hands don't touch the floor, you could put a cushion under the hands or a block under each hand. Make it easy so you don't feel like you're just dangling down in midair, because you want to concentrate on stretching the leg and not worry if you're going to fall over. A deep breath in, weight down in the feet, begin to roll up very slowly back to centre, so the spine stacks. You're looking after the spinal column as you roll up, and then you can release the leg. Okay, then it's exactly the same on the other side. So I'm taking the left leg over the right. The back leg, my right leg, is straighter than the front, which has a bend in it. The weight is down in the feet. Core control and pelvic floor. And only when I'm balanced and feel ready will I use an exhale to drape forwards once more. When you come to do the other leg, the stretch may feel totally different. It might be in a totally different area. But relax. The more you can relax into the stretch, the more the muscles will give, the more benefit you will receive. Deep breath in and very slowly roll back up to centre. Feel the spine stack, your collarbone will widen and your head will come up last. And then release the leg position. Love that stretch. Okay, so the next one we're doing is a roll down with a particular foot position. Now this foot position releases the sciatic band. If you've got a little bit of backache, it works well for that as well. Okay, so I'm taking my feet roughly a shoulder distance apart, and then I'm turning the toes very sharply in, but I'm not locking the knees out. Please, whatever you do, do not pull the muscles up above your kneecaps. It tightens the groin, the hip flexors, causes hip problems, and can cause sciatica. So keep your legs relaxed. Core control on pelvic floor to support the spinal column. When you're ready, exhale and drift down. And don't worry if you can't get all the way to the floor. Head and arms relaxed and heavy. When you're ready, use an inhale breath to roll up. And you can just roll up, or you can sweep the arms out wide and bring the hands all the way up to the crown of the head. Exhale as you draw the hands down to the heart, and continue exhaling as you drape forwards again. Now, as you drape forwards, notice where you're feeling the stretch. It might be that it's at the back of the knees, but when the sciatica is bad, it's possibly that you're feeling it right in the sit bones where the hamstrings connect, or it could be somewhere here in the piriformis muscle. Just go with it, keep as relaxed as possible, and when you're ready, inhaling and rolling up. Again, up to you if you bring the arms into it or not. You might be better off just concentrating on going up and down. Take your time, stay as relaxed as possible. I'm going to do 2 more of those. So always know that there's many different things that can cause sciatica. It could be that you've been sat down too long. It could be if you're a walker, runner or cyclist, one glute muscle tightens up more than the other, pushes into that piriformis muscle, causing sciatica. It could be that you've got in the car, you're rushing around, you haven't sat down properly and you're slightly twisted, which takes the sacrum out of alignment, which is another cause of sciatica. But all these causes will help you to bring the sacrum into alignment and get rid of that muscle tension that you need to get rid of. Just take your time always. Right then, the next one we're doing is a wide leg forward fold. But I'm going to show you this using a chair and then using blocks and then not using anything. Okay, so just work at your own pace. It's really important that you do. So I've got a chair here, and I'm going to place all 4 legs of the chair on the mat. That's so it doesn't slip away from me. If you're going to use the back of the chair, you could always place the back to face you and step away. Now you want a nice wide stance with the legs for wide leg forward fold, and you also want to have the toes pointing forwards. And then to start off very, very simply, place the hands on the back of the chair, push forwards through the spine and back through the bottom. When the hamstrings are really, really tight, you do need to bend the knees, but make sure the knees go in the same direction as the toes and don't collapse in. Okay, but eventually you'll get to straight legs, don't worry. Okay, so that might be too easy. You might think, actually, I can stretch a bit better now. And you could use the chair seat instead. So again, stepping away, wide stance, toes pointing forwards. Never forget your core control and pelvic floor. And then pushing back with the bottom, forwards through the spine, hands onto the seat of the chair. So what you're doing here is, if you are not tensing up through the bottom muscles, you're releasing all the muscles around the sacrum. Very important. There's no weight in the hands, everything relaxed. Slow deep breaths. When you start to feel the body give, you can make this harder. So you might want to use blocks to start with, whether upright or on the side. Just go with what feels right on the day. I'm in the centre of the mat, blocks about shoulder distance apart, and I'm going to step the feet apart. Again, it's that wide stance, but listen to the body, because you don't want to overstretch. When you overstretch, the weight goes out of the feet, and you don't get that beautiful, fine movement in the body. Kind of start to panic that you might fall over, and you don't ever want that. Toes are pointing forwards, weight into the feet, core control and pelvic floor, and exhale and drip down. So you might want to put the hands on a block to start with, one way or the other. You might find you get the hands to the floor, but keep the hands as wide as the shoulders. Some of you will get the forearms down. Keep the weight in the feet, but the legs relaxed. Otherwise you may build tension in the bottom muscles again. Keep relaxing. You will eventually get the head to the floor. But when you do that, it's just the crown very gently resting on the mat. There's no weight into the crown. Take your time. You really want to be listening for any tension in the groin, the adductors, lower back. If there's any tension there, ease off the stretch slightly, take some breaths, go back into it. You've just got to keep the weight in the feet and nowhere else. It just all takes time. And then when you're ready, shuffle the feet in and roll very slowly back to centre. Get a beautiful stretch around the sacrum. So if you do have problems with the sacrum bone, that's a nice one to keep practicing. Okay. So, I'm going to come down onto my mat next. And I'm going to release the piriformis muscle using the dog's rubber ball. Okay. Now your piriformis muscle is here. Okay. It's not on a bone, and it's kind of midpoint of the top part of the glutes. If you've got yoga pants on like me, the very base of the waistband tends to always sit on that piriformis muscle. So that's a good indicator. If you're just totally unsure, just massage the whole of the glutes with the ball. You'll find areas of tension. Okay. So I'm going to lay down on my mat. Got the ball here. Right there. I'm going to just hold the ball against my bottom. And I'm going to lay down walk onto the ball. So the fleshy part and the upper part of my left glute is on that ball. And I'm very slowly going to take the ball right to the outside edge, almost towards the hip. Okay, and there might be areas where you think, oh my gosh, that's so painful. And when you find a painful area, relax into the ball. It's almost like doing pressure point therapy, but you're in charge. And you can bend them along, and then back in again. But at no point am I placing that ball on a bone. Okay, not on the sacrum, not on the hip bone. And if you're unsure, like I said, just massage everywhere you possibly can. Okay? And then I'm going to go to the other side. So if ever I do get sciatica, it tends to be on the right side of my body. And I'm placing the ball upper part of the glue. And I'm just working into that area. You can see I'm rocking and rolling, working the ball into the flesh. Now sometimes you find an area of tension, and what's really nice to do is just let the leg drop out to the side and you really go into it. And what you'll find is that releases into the groin as well. But just take your time, feel your way around. You're in charge of how much pressure you put into the ball and how much effort you put into it. Okay. And you might want to go to the other side again and repeat that. We're all different. There's no hard, fast rule. Just take your time. And when you're ready, you move the ball. You come back up to sitting. Okay. So the next one we're doing is a one-legged pigeon. This is fantastic for opening up the glute muscles, releasing that piriformis. However, not everybody likes doing one-legged pigeon. So I'm going to show you Lotus prep, and then I'll show you one-legged pigeon. And Lotus prep is a very good alternative. Okay. So I'm laying on my back, both knees bent, a little bit of core control, and then arms just by the sides of the body. Place the ankle of your left foot on the right thigh, up near the knee, but not on the kneecap. And then slowly lift the right foot off the floor. You should feel a nice stretch into the hamstring. If you want to make the stretch stronger, take hold of the right leg. You might want to hold that anywhere from 10 to 20 slow deep breaths, and then release the legs. Give them a jiggle and do exactly the same on the other side. So right ankle on the left thigh, up near the knee, not on the kneecap. And then lift the left foot off the floor. You can see it draws the leg in towards the chest until you can manually draw the leg in closer if you prefer. How far it goes, don't worry about it. Some people like to slide the right leg down the mat. Others like to tuck the toes under and take the leg down. Up to you, which way you do it. Okay. And then it's relaxing. Now, sometimes you'll be way off the floor, and other times you'll be relatively close to the mat with a pubic bone. But that all comes with time. That's about releasing the lower back, releasing the psoas muscle, and the hip flexor. And if you have got sciatica in that left side, you're going to feel a beautiful stretch in the glutes and into the piriformis muscle. Okay. Now, I would never ever have the foot tucked under in this. If you have got sore kneecaps, pop a blanket underneath. What you're going to do by tucking the toes under is generate more tension up into the bottom muscles, and you just don't want that. So you can stay here, or you can walk the hands up like that and rest down. Slow deep breaths. I like the arms out just like this, but you can bend the elbows and place the hands under the forehead if you prefer. And then when you're ready, lift the head. Walk the hands slowly back to where you started. Take a few breaths. And then push back with the pelvis, and the front knee will lift and slide that leg behind. And you're back in your own false position. And then you can reposition yourself on the mat if you need to. And it's exactly the same on the other side. So right knee to right wrist, right foot kicks out to the side slightly, slide the left foot, or tuck the toes under and take the foot down the mat. Relax. Notice the difference from one side to the other. You can walk the hands up the mat, rest the forehead on the floor if you wish, or hands under the forehead. The weight does drop down into that front leg, encouraging the stretch and the glute. Just keep breathing into the stretch. Just gently lift the head, walk the hands back to where you started. Few breaths. And when you're ready, push back with the pelvis, front knee lifts, slide the leg around and behind, and rest back in child's pose this time. And then when you're ready, come back up to sitting. So our final pose is Reclining Cobra. It's up to you if you use a ball and Pilates 8-inch ball, okay, or not. If you don't have one to hand, you don't have to use one, okay. So Reclining Cobra without a ball. Lay on your back, both knees bent. Knees and feet gently together, and then let the knees drop out to the sides. Soles of the feet come towards each other. Now, if you've got sciatica, sometimes you can really tell in this pose that it's gone into the groin as the tightness, and you'll feel it in this area, or it might be in the adductors. Give the legs a jiggle and just relax. Stay there 2 or 3 minutes. Beautiful way to release the groin, the adductors, and the sacrum. Okay. But you can use one of these Pilates balls. So mine is slightly inflated. There's a little pressed up to one side. Make sure it is to the side so you don't lay on it because it's really painful if you do. And I'm just holding the ball very close to my bottom, and I'm going to walk onto the ball. Okay, so the ball is under my sacrum, and when I'm ready, I'm going to let the legs drop out to the sides. Now, using the ball gives you a much deeper stretch. Make sure you don't grip the teeth. If you can feel the legs and the bottom muscles tense up, give them a jiggle. And just relax. When the stretch is intense, you might only want to hold this 10 or 12 deep breaths. But do work up to 3 minutes, and if the sacrum is out of alignment, I'd work up to 10 minutes because sometimes it can bring the sacrum back into alignment, so bonus. So I've held that for about 10 slow deep breaths. I would personally hold it longer, but when you're ready to come out of it, bring the knees in towards each other, and if you need to use the hands to do that, do, it's fine. Then gently lift up and take the ball away from underneath you, and take the legs out long. And notice how the lower back has given, how the body just feels so different after using the ball. So we're going to go into Shavasana, a little bit of relaxation. You can keep the legs out long or bend the knees. I like to have my arms by the sides of the body with the palms up. As you're breathing, make sure that the tongue is relaxed in the mouth and you are not gritting your teeth. Be aware of the rise and the fall of your chest and the sound of your breath. exhale, I'd like you to imagine that you can send every thought and care away on the exhale of breath. Every time a thought pops into your mind, imagine you can bundle the thought up and just send it away on the breath. It doesn't matter how many times you have to keep sending the thoughts away. Just send them away on the breath. Eventually, your mind will become clearer and calmer, and all you'll be left with is the sound and the feeling of your breath. Very slowly, open your eyes and come back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Very slowly, bend the knees. And when you are ready, roll over to the side. And return, come to sitting. When you are ready, I really hope you've enjoyed that class and that you're already experiencing some relief with your sciatic pain. If you have enjoyed the video, please like and don't forget to subscribe.